Sometimes you have one of those days where you have the success that you wanted, that gives you the hope that you need to move forward. But first of all, you have to put in the effort, you have to put yourself out there. And soon enough, some results that will bring you hope and joy and adventure and happiness will arrive. Some sort of modicum of success that shows you that it is worth it to put in the effort. Most of the times, we put so much effort in to the things that we want to get, to the things that we want to achieve, to the things that we want to build. But you see, we give up far too early. That is because of the expectations that we put upon ourselves. We expect the world to give us immediately what we want with as little effort as possible. But you see, if you continue a little bit more, you will start to get small success. Even if it just is the smallest thing, you will start to just enjoy it more. Because the effort you put in usually dictates the amount of pleasure that you get out of the situation. It is the effort that really dictates that pleasure, that happiness. It is a release of emotions. You build up this tension. I want this. I want this. I want this. I want this. And all of a sudden, you get a little bit of it. And then you go like, yes, it is perfect. And then you go and build that tension once again and once again and once again. And then you get a little bit more. And all of a sudden, that cycle starts to become shorter and shorter and shorter, where you will have results much, much faster. As opposed to having results once in a while, you'll start to have results sooner rather than later. And it is that which you should think about, this contraction and this this liberation of emotion. It is always a cycle. You do put in a lot of effort, you contract everything, you just tighten up, and then you release all of these emotions. And the more you repeat that cycle, the more your brain understands that this is rewarding behavior, and it will want to get better at it. And once you really get into that cycle, you will just get more and more and more results, because that cycle perpetuates itself. And you can start to see that having success leads to more success and more pleasure. And then that buildup, you don't dread it so much, because in the beginning, most people just dread that effort, that bad period of time. They just don't want to do it because they feel like they're not getting anywhere, even though they are having incremental results all along the way. They just feel like they don't have the big result, the big goal. That's why I'm really against goals in the traditional sense. I much prefer a leveling system where you just start slowly, as small as possible, but also try to go as fast as possible and reach all the small levels as fast as possible. So in the beginning, it's just making your first dollar if it's a business, or I don't know, going on a mini adventure around town, just doing something to feel more adventurous, more happy, whatever it is that you are trying to achieve. Just do something small and then do another one that's the same thing, and stay at that level for a day or two or three, but have a lot of repetitions of the same exact thing so that you conquer that level, and then you can move to the next level when you feel like you're ready, but not really push yourself. Just push yourself for the first level and then stay at that level until you are bored of it. Not until you feel ready, not until you can do it, just to delay it. Usually it's by a day or two. Just delay it and still stay at that level so that you build a bit more desire for the next level. and then stay at the next level for a few weeks or a few days. And then you will start to see that that contraction doesn't feel that bad because you can see the progress that you've made. Not only have you progressed to another level, but staying at that level made everything easier. You've mastered that certain level. You see, most people just blow on by all levels. But you see, if you take a little bit more time and just spend it on the level you are currently at, you will start to see just delaying the next level, the next ascension. If you delay it, that delay will give you so much more in return. Because once you go back, and you will go back at some point, you will lose momentum. You will lose what you've built, the inertia that you have, and you will go back a few steps. That hurts a lot. But because you've stayed at that level so many times, everything seems so familiar. But if you blow on past, you will not really form any good memories and any good ideas about that level. You will not really understand everything that it has to teach you. You will not have a good foundation. Everybody wants to solve the great, expensive, and big problems. You have to understand that in order to have a great time at the top, you have to build a wide foundation. You have to understand that that's what people skip, and that's why they cannot have success. It's because they haven't built a long enough foundation to have the ability to rise. Most people just build one brick and then they put it on top, and then they put another brick, and they just build this unstable tower, and it crumbles so many times, as opposed to layering as many bricks as possible, layering a foundation, and then doing the next level and the next level, and spending time at each level to build it properly. If you don't build it properly, you're gonna end up having problems in the future. And that's the point. It is really trying to build as much of a great foundation as you can do. It is about spending just a little bit more time at the first few levels and then building the next level properly on top, and then another one. And it's so easy, but most people just put brick after brick after brick after brick, and then it's just a Jenga tower. Even a Jenga tower, the game, the beautiful game where you take out bricks, even that one has like 3 bricks in order to sustain itself. And the goal of the game is to teach you that you can still have a little bit of play with that. But once you start taking out, everything starts to crumble. And it's the same thing, but people just want to try to build a Jenga tower, one brick on top of one brick on top of one brick on top of one brick, without realizing that the safest structure is putting 3 bricks on top of 3 bricks on top of 3 bricks. Of course, in life, you have to put many, many more. But try to build better structures for your success, as opposed to just building a tall tower, trying to get as fast as possible to the top. That will ensure that you have a huge fall, and you will regret it, and you might never get back up because you haven't learned anything at any level. So you haven't learned how to build. You've just learned how to put brick on top of brick without really having the glue and the cement and the structure necessary to keep that building upright.